Live look of Young and Dundas Square on this Tuesday. Hope you're having a good morning. Welcome back to Breakfast Television. Sid Cicero, Dina Pugliese with you. In 1972, a group of young women spent 3 months isolated in a Canadian research hospital while they participated in a study trying to determine the effects of marijuana on females. The new film, The Marijuana Conspiracy, dramatizes that rather bizarre and true-life experiment. Toronto actress Tymika Tafari stars as one of the young women at the core of this interesting tale. And she joins us live this morning on Breakfast Television. Good morning, Tymika. Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Congrats on this film. We both screened it, and I'm like, how did this even happen? You mentioned the year was 1972. 98 days. These women were, well, they signed up for it, but they didn't know what they signed up for. They couldn't even go outside to get any fresh air. They were being monitored every 30 minutes. Why was this a story you wanted to help tell?
I feel like I knew that my future might look like that someday, you know, 98 days inside.
Well played.
Touche.
I mean, we make their 98 days look cute, but I was drawn to the character. I really liked Miranda, and so this is the movie she came with. At the time, our lives were paralleling, so it was really cool to just dive into her.
Tymika, this is one of those stories to me where when we talked about it this week, when we talked about the movie being on demand, I said to myself, and especially like an hour into the movie, did this really happen in this country?
Yeah.
It seemed a rather unbelievable script, but it's not. Did you have a similar feeling when you read the script?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty surreal. And then it wasn't until we met one of the ladies, Doreen, that I noticed that this is really impacting her. This is a real thing that happened.
And there's these political undertones that were sort of driving this whole study. So women were split into control groups. So one set of women were given 2 doses, I guess you could say, of marijuana nightly. And then the other set weren't given any. And they were trying to correlate productivity in the workplace with smoking marijuana. And the women had to make macrame, which was very 1972, to earn their pay. And then there was this whole thing, I don't want to ruin it. Let's just say at the end of the 98 days, nobody found out any of the information after suffering, being locked up for 98 days. None of the women that were part of this experiment to this day, after suffering psychological trauma, being monitored every 30 minutes, know the results of that. So what do you make of all of that in terms of a warning, as you mentioned today in 2021?
Well, I think that it's really unfortunate that we don't have any hardcore proof or results after the experiment. But as a warning, I'm not exactly sure what you mean by warning.
Yeah, I guess it's the parallels. Because first of all, I found it interesting. So did you notice everybody was smoking inside, but marijuana was not legal? Now it's reversed. You can't smoke inside, but marijuana is legal. And they were showing Trudeau at the time talking about the fact that, you know, should we legalize it? Does it make people more criminally minded? And at the end of the day, the women showed themselves to be more productive, if not equally productive, from the control group that didn't smoke. So I guess that's where I'm going with that in terms of lessons learned, and as well in terms of how we conduct social experiments so that they're more humane.
Yeah, I think more than anything, it just shows that it's not really the weed or the marijuana that's really controlling the women or anything. It doesn't make you bad and doesn't make you like less productive. Yeah. I feel like people are still really productive even when high. It's really what you make of being in that heightened state. If you decide to do something terrible with it, that's what's going to happen. If you decide to make use of it, that's what's going to happen.
Again, this movie is currently on demand. It's The Marijuana Conspiracy. It is, not many people really remember this. This is hands down one of the most bizarre medical moments in this country's history. Tymika is a part of the cast. Congratulations on the film, and thanks for joining us today.
Congrats.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Yeah, I had no idea that was part of our history.
You too.
Learned a lot here.
Yeah.
To give it a view, especially on 420. All right, let's spice things up here. Nicole Cervinas. All I see is peppers, milk, and bread. You know what this means.
Uh-oh.
It means someone is going to make a bad decision. We're going to level up and spice it up. Next, Nicole, handle with care. I had a ghost chip once. I'll never forget it. Be careful.
A ghost chip?
You never had a ghost chip?
No.